I would like to talk about theme. So Cinder has three themes. First is love, second is betrayal, and third is discrimination. So what is love in here? So love here is shown by Cinder's affection to her family, especially her stepsister Peony. And in the story, it can be shown when Peony got the plague, Cinder will do anything to save her, even though at the end, Peony died. The second is betrayal. Betrayal here, well, betrayal of her love. So when the Prince Kai knew that Cinder is a lunar, Kai betrayed her at the first sight. And then here discrimination. Well, discrimination can be shown throughout the entire story, where Cinder is a cyborg. When there's a rule to draft cyborg to do voluntary job, such as being a guinea pig for experiment. But on top of that, it has one main big theme, which is disability. In here, Cinder, a cyborg who has a disability because of a long-term accident back in her past, the story gave everything to her. The story gave everything that a disabled person can handle, but finally she overcome it. Now we will talk about the plot.
So in the plot, the exposition, we are introduced with the main character, Cinder, who is a cyborg that works as a mechanic in the city called New Beijing. We also get introduced to Prince Kai as the Prince of the Earth, who visits Cinder to repair his android. There are also Cinder's step-family, which is Adri as her stepmother, and Peony and Pearl as her stepsister. We also get a brief introduction of the main antagonist, Queen Levana, who is later responsible for the assassination of Prince Kai. In the racing action, starts when Peony gets infected with leishmaniasis, a plague which comes from the moon or the luna. This led Cinder to have a fight with her stepmother, and the stepmother sent her to a cyborg volunteer program. Here she met with Dr. Erland, which is the researcher for the leishmaniasis plague, and he offers Cinder to do an experiment to her body because Cinder got diagnosed immune to the plague, which Cinder gives 3 conditions for the agreement. Later, when Cinder returned Prince Kai android, she also met Queen Levana, which are under discussion to talk about peace between Lunar and Earth. Here, Cinder is fainted and brought to Dr. Erland's office, where he reveals that he is a lunar, and so does Cinder. Here she got notice about Peony's disease and returned home with the cure when she found out that Peony has already died. And due to that, and Adri, Cinder's stepmother, blames Cinder for it. Later, when everyone went to the ball, Cinder found out the chip that has been taken from the Princess Kai android, and a message came out saying that the Queen Levana tried to kill Kai when they already married, and resuming the war between Luna and Earth. The climax in this story, it starts when, after Cinder got the message, Cinder went to the ball to warn Prince Kai of what's going to happen, which Kai is uncertain of what he needs to do next. In the desperate move, Cinder kissed Prince Kai in hope that Queen Levana see her action, then cancel the marriage arrangement with Prince Kai, which she does not, and even urge Kai to hand over Cinder, as she knows that Cinder is a lunar people, and reveal it to Kai. Kai refused, with the knowledge of how Levana treats lunar people cruelly. And at this moment, Cinder's ability as lunar came out when Queen Levana tried to control her to shoot herself in the head, with which she could resist. The following action is that Cinder tries to run out of the place in hope to get away from the Cinder tries to run out of the palace in hope to get away from the palace immediately, yet her leg falls off, cause her to stumble at the end of the stair. Prince Kai chooses to imprison Cinder as a better option than to hand her over to Queen Levana. And the denouement of the plot is that later in the story, Cinder got visited by Dr. Erlen in her prison, which give a chance of freedom by following him to Africa to find out about the first case of leishmaniasis that happened, which is in Africa.
Okay, back with me again. After my friend explained about the plot, now we'll go back to explain about the characterization. So first, we have the protagonist, Lynn Cinder. She is a brilliant mechanic who is also a cyborg who lives with her step-parents or adopted parents. You can say she is hardworking, tough, and also a little bit rough. And then, well, you can say she's lovely. She cares about her surrounding, especially her robot friend. Second, we have Cinder love interest, Prince Kai, the prince of the Eastern Commonwealth, also known as China. He is charismatic, brilliant, and also wise. But sometimes he kind of careless and stubborn. But in the end, for the sake of his country, he will do anything to make everything better for his country, which is the Eastern Commonwealth. Third, we have Queen Levana. She is the main antagonist of the story. She is the aunt of Lynn Cinder, and in the novel can be seen that she is very cruel and also heartless, because she will kill anyone who stands in her way and will do anything to gain her power. So fourth, we have Dr. Erlen. He is a supporting character to Lynn Cinder. He is wise, he is brilliant regarding the play, and also he is old, very old, maybe ancient. Okay, so I'll talk about the characterization. Let's go to the story.
Well, hello there. So, as you can see, I'm trying to read this book, Cinder, right? So, anyway, so we're here for the summary. The summary, right? So, the main character, Lynn Cinder, is a cyborg. She lives in the New Beijing city, 126 years after the Fourth World War. She lives with her stepmother, Lynn Adri, and her two stepsisters, Lynn Pearl and Lynn Peony. Cinder works as a mechanic in the marketplace with Eco, her android. One day at work, she meets Prince Kai, which is the crown prince of the Eastern Commonwealth, the country she is currently residing in, who wanted to have his android fixed. Later, in the same day, everyone in the marketplace had to be evacuated because a baker by the name of Chang Sasha has been infected by the leishmaniasis disease. The emperor, called Emperor Rikan, Prince Kai's father, is currently sick with leishmaniasis, the deadly plague with no survivors that is terrorizing the Eastern Commonwealth. At home, her stepmother was preparing her two daughters for the ball in the palace, and she asks for Cinder to change her mag belt in her hover, which is a sort of hover car, a vehicle. She, Eco, and Peony then goes to the junkyard to look for a new mag belt. While there, she finds a car that she plans on repairing, and Peony suddenly shows the early signs of leishmaniasis infection and is taken away. When she arrives home, Adri was furious and angry, and blames Cinder for Peony's contraction, thinking that she must have passed it from Sasha to Peony. She's then taken away by the Medroids for research after being tasered. And then Dr. Erland, the head researcher of the palace, takes an interest in Cinder and reveals to her that she is 36.28% not human. He also reveals that he is also a lunar. So he's referring to Cinder's ancestry as a lunar, a person from the moon, a colony of Earth. It was a colony. When the doctor injected her with leishmaniasis pathogen, her immune system kicks in after several minutes, eliminating the pathogens. He then moves her to another room and talks to her, telling her of her immunity to the disease and asks about her childhood. Cinder tells him that she was told that her parents died in a hover crash that also caused her to be given cybernetics, and that she does not remember anything before her surgery. She was then taken to the Eastern Commonwealth by Lingaran, after the crash. Lingaran is Adri's husband, who died after a few days from the disease. And then, while going to Dr. Erland's lab, Prince Kai, the crown prince, runs into Sibyl Mira, the head thaumaturge of Queen Levana, the lunar queen of Luna, the moon. She is on Earth to discuss an alliance between Luna and the Commonwealth. Kai discusses Princess Celine, the queen's niece and the single heir to the lunar crown. Celine died in a fire when she was 3, but there are theories saying that she is hiding on Earth, since the body parts that were found were of her hand and her foot, just her hand and her foot. Kai wants to find and marry Celine instead of Queen Levana because, she's younger, I guess. But he's told by Korn Torin, his father's advisor, that she's dead. Later, Dr. Erland asks to do a small experiment on Cinder and pinches the vertebrae just above her shoulders, looking for Garen's device that Cinder does not know about, knocking her unconscious. When she wakes up, Cinder sees that Erland and Prince Kai was watching over her, and she asks what happened. And Dr. Erland lies to Kai and tells Kai that he was only adjusting her spine and that she was there at the palace because she was repairing a Medroid. Cinder then promises to tell Kai after she fixes his android, and that she would be back tomorrow to check on the Medroid and leaves. Cinder goes back to Adri's apartment and argues with her. She then reunites with Iko, and plans to use the car she found in the junkyard to leave New Beijing. During the night, Emperor Rikan finally succumbs to his disease and dies, unfortunately. Kai then receives a comm, sort of like a message, from Queen Levana that she would be coming to the Commonwealth to discuss an alliance with him. In the morning, Cinder is notified by Peony. She is notified that Peony has entered the 3rd stage of lactomosis and goes to the quarantine area. She gives her a blanket and promises to find an antidote. On her way out, she encounters Cheng Shasha, to whom she promised to bring her son. But sadly, she died afterwards, and a Medroid cuts Sasha's wrist and pulls out a chip. When asked by Cinder what it was doing, it replies that it was taking out Sasha's ID chip. Later at the palace, Cinder meets Kai and proceeds to walk with him to the lab. Kai then tells her that Queen Levana is coming to Earth and asks her out to the annual ball. But Cinder is shocked, obviously, because she's getting asked to a ball by the prince, but sadly she declined. She was afraid that he would find out that she is a cyborg. When Kai leaves, Cinder asks about the Medroid who cut out Chang Sasha's ID chip, and Dr. Evelyn tells Cinder that chips can be sold at a high price for undocumented citizens, probably refugees of Luna. And then after Kai's coronation, she is contacted by Kes, a person who was like a spy, unwilling spy, using the decom chip that Cinder previously found hidden in Kai's android. Kes tells her that Kai is going to announce his intent to marry Levana, but that Levana plans on killing him after she is crowned empress and gives birth to an heir. Cinder then drives to the ball using the car she found, and later crashing it into a tree when she arrives to the palace. At the ball, she is announced as Kai's personal guest, much to her surprise, and this causes Adri, who was there, to be angry. Adri then moves to strike Cinder, but then is stopped by Kai, and then Kai asks for Cinder if she wants to dance with him. And then, while dancing, she warns him of Levana's plans and tries to take him somewhere, private, to show him the decom chip when Torin arrives and tells Kai that it is time to make the announcement. At the ball, in front of Levana, Cinder kisses Kai, hoping to make Levana dismiss the engagement if she believes that Kai is in love with her. Unfortunately, of course, it didn't work, and Cinder is a real lunar, with Levana in Sybil, believing that she's a shell, a lunar with no special powers. Levana then manipulates Cinder to point a gun to her head, giving Kai two choices. He can either marry Levana and save Cinder's life, or refuse to marry Levana, but killing Cinder. Kai chooses to not marry Levana, saying that peace could be made without sacrificing freedom. So when Levana tried to manipulate Cinder into killing herself, Cinder's latent lunar ancestry suddenly manifests and made her resistant to Levana's mind control. And then, she's able to resist and not shoot herself, and then she just runs away. But then at the outside stairs, her cyborg feet suddenly falls, and she just falls. She was in a difficult position. She was unable to run because her single cyborg foot was her single cyborg foot was disconnected, and so she was unable to run. And so Prince Kai, he chose to give Cinder a prison time instead of giving her to Queen Levana in order to give time for Cinder. But Queen Levana wants Cinder to be returned to Luna and is given trial there so that she could be punished, as a lunar person, in exchange for her not declaring war on Earth. In prison, she is visited by Dr. Erlang, He then teaches her how to better manipulate her gift and gives her a new hand and a new foot. He reveals that Cinder is the lost Princess Celine, and tells her to escape as soon as possible and to meet him in Africa, where he will be doing research in the place where the first cases of letumosis appeared. That is all. Thank you.